Hey everyone, this is Man Shark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, and this is Secret of Mana. Now, let's see, what's the plan for today? Well, we're supposed to be going into the Pure Land, and following our kind voice which is guiding us deeper into that realm. However, we need to do some things first. Let's just reassign the sprite to, say, the bow? We've got to go find Watts. We definitely have to find Watts. We're doing a bit of a grind today. There's going to be a few different bits in this grind. We'll start it off
night is 10 GP.
with some in scenes.
One night is 10 GP.
Excuse me?
So here's Dryad.
Whoa! Where'd you come from? Hello, Dryad. Did you need anything?
No, not anything in particular. I simply wanted to know if it's really all right for me to accompany you.
Of course it is. Your magic is really useful.
I am not so sure.
It is! You're really helping us out! We think of you as our trusted ally, and we will definitely need your help in the future.
I see. I have always doubted my abilities, but if you truly believe I can help, I will do my best. Please call upon me at any time.
She left.
Sounds like Dryad has a problem with anxiety. Poor Dryad. She probably gets depressed easily.
I apologize for getting depressed.
No, wait! I didn't mean it!
Yeah, it was just a silly joke.
I see.
This might be a difficult elemental in the end.
I mean, a little bit, but very essential. Yeah, so the plan for today, we'll do a few of these in stops until it stops for us. It shouldn't take too long considering we only really just got Dryad. Don't save the game, that's fine. Then we'll do some... We'll go and upgrade the weapons, because I don't think we did that. And then we'll do some proper grinding.
All the seals on the seeds have been broken.
I never thought it'd come to this. Hey, guys.
What's bothering you?
It wasn't possible before, but I've got an idea for the mana seeds. If we planted them, maybe they'd sprout.
Huh? That's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Probably.
But it would make sense for a mana seed to grow into a tree if it were planted.
When you put it that way. And most trees make more seeds the more they grow.
Yes.
So if we grew a mana tree, we can make more mana seeds, right? And if we've got so many mana seeds, you wouldn't mind if I ate one, right? Just to taste it?
Wait, what?
You still want to eat one?
The sprite is totally down for eating some mana seeds. Yeah, I don't think we've got too many more of these scenes. And when I say grind, it will be proper grinding. We do need to go to the Pure Land and get some drops and also some particular kills before we really continue on with things. But we'll make that part of the main story episode. So yeah, this is definitely a grind episode. And as such, it will go up off schedule.
How does something as huge as the Mana Fortress stay in the air?
Literally magic.
It's mana. Mana can do all that?
There's enough firepower in there to destroy the world. That's crazy. It still feels like a fairy tale, even though I know you've got the legendary Mana Sword.
Hard to believe it's got that much power.
You know... Gotta say, I know it's evil and all, but the Mana Fortress does look pretty cool. Think before you talk. Now is not the time.
I agree. It does look impressive.
Ugh, focus, you two.
It looks very different in the in the sort of overworld sprite that you see. well, the overworld model, I guess it is in this version because it's three-dimensional, but the sprite looked very different from what we saw, I think, last episode of the Mana Fortress. I'll go and have a look at it once we're done here.
One night is 10.
Oh, come on. Hopefully we don't have half an hour of these.
I realized something after fighting all these people from the Empire.
Oh?
All the Imperial subjects that we've met have been normal people. So what about the generals?
What do you mean?
We just assume they're bad guys because they're leading the enemy forces. But what if they've got reasons?
I think I see what you're getting at, bro. The mana power might be too much for the Emperor and his forces to resist.
We need to figure out what's behind the corruption. Get at the root of the problem.
This is the most serious you two have ever been.
I can't explain it. Maybe it's just my sprightly intuition, but something about this isn't right.
I feel the same.
Me too. No matter what's behind this, we gotta stop it. That won't change.
Right! You're good at making complicated things sound easy, sis.
I can't tell if that's a compliment.
We still have a goal. Come on, guys. We've got work to do.
I mean, it's no spoiler, it happened like previously. It's Thanatos. Or Thanatos. Maybe don't hire the guy whose name means death. But we'll get to that. Considering the Emperor and the other three of his
One
generals
night
are
is
all
10
dead.
GP. Stay the night.
Yes, please. Wow, alright.
Originally, I left Pandora with you to find Diluc. I never thought this would turn into such a long adventure.
I'm glad you came, though.
Yes, me too. I'm happy to be with you both.
Ah, you'll make me blush.
Don't get used to it. But I wanted you to know that I would never have made it this far without such good friends. Remember when we first met and you were about to become a goblin feast? You grew up. Now you really act like a hero.
Thanks.
Don't doubt yourself, okay? And you're still a bratty little sprite, but I have to admit that it's never boring with you around.
You're too nice.
Are you sure that was a compliment?
What?
I'm kidding. Thanks for everything. I'm so glad I met both of you.
This is important characterization. Again, the Super Nintendo version didn't have any of these scenes, so you didn't really get to see any of this. But this is very important.
One night is 10.
Okay, good. That's the end of the ones that we've got queued up. Alright. Yeah, only about 8.5 minutes worth of that, so that's good. Now we can go out and do some proper grinding. Ugh. And it's not even the proper endgame grind either. Okay, we'll save it though. Alright. Now, we need to find Watts. He wasn't in his cave in Gaia's navel.
There.
So, let's grab Flammy, go have a look at the Mana Fortress like I said we were going to. Not land on it, of course, because we can't do that yet. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so that kind of looks like a UFO sort of thing. In the original, the sprite was more of a half planetoid. If you think of the second Death Star from Return of the Jedi, that's pretty close on what it looked like. I didn't want to go to Gold Tower, I wanted to go to Gold City. Because Watts has a shop here that he squatted in. Hopefully he's still there. Hey!
Well, no one.
Pretty sure we needed upgrades.
I've been waiting. Which one?
Yep, so the Gigas Lance has become the Dragon Lance. The Hammer Whip has become the Nimbus Whip. The Elfin Bow has become the Winged Bow. The Imp's Fork is the Elf's Harpoon. And Masamune is now the Gigas Sword. So, the Gigas Sword increases strength by 2. I think Masamune did that too. The Dragon Lance does significant damage on dragons. The Elf's Harpoon raises intelligence and wisdom. The Wing Bow confuses enemies, and the Nimbus Whip is more damage on insects and tough-skinned monsters. So the Spear and the Whip are at maximum levels. That's great. Let's see. So yep, you can still increase that, you can increase that. Right, sounds good. And then over here, we need to upgrade most of the Sprite's magic. And at the very least, Dryad to level 7. Alright, I think the best spot for us to do...
There!
We're going to go to Northtown in the Empire. Because I think that's actually a pretty good... Like, it's not bad for GP as well. Not that we don't actually need gold anymore. Actually, yeah, considering we don't need gold anymore, maybe we should just go... Ah, no, it's fine, because the good part about Northtown is that apart from with the knights up here at the Imperial Palace, like, we got to kill one of them, the guy in front. Oh, look at how cool that dragon spear looks. Oh no, that's the javelin, isn't it? Speaking of, let me just reset your action grids to being assist with same target. And hopefully they won't attack just yet. Okay, good. Alright. Okay, so basically everything except Shade. Ugh, not great, but definitely Dryad. Alright. Let's see. Just to get it started. So contrary to previous times when grinding, when I'm doing it this way, instead of having my finger on the right part of the D-pad for targeting and movement, I can put it on the left, because it is faster to get to... Whoops. It is faster to get to speed down like that, and I don't care about targeting. So I hope everybody's doing alright in these trying times, as they say it. It's kind of weird, like, outside it's a really nice day. It's like, what is it? Right now it's the 21st of September, so, you know, getting in, well into spring, the flowers are coming out, and it's a nice sunny day. Just some light cloud cover. And it's like, it'd be a great day to do something on, but nope. Here we are playing Secret of Mana. Not that there's anything wrong with playing Secret of Mana, of course. But yeah, I hope that everybody's doing alright. And I mean, not just in a general health sense, but also in a state of mind and political sense. There's some big news from the US the other day about the Supreme Court, and when this comes out it'll be at least a month after that, so that's the environment that I'm making this in. But yeah. Interesting times, as they say. So just to get back on the topic of Secret of Mana and grind, I wrote down all the stuff that we need, despite the fact that my laptop's not actually being a piece of shit today, so happy with that. But I wrote down everything and where we need to get the drop-only items and things like that. So from the Pure Land, apart from the Griffin Helm that we already got, which is definitely important, we need to get dragon rings off ice thugs. Now, keep in mind the names of these, the names may be wrong, but ice thugs are those little fish that throw tridents. Okay, good, that's that one too. So gnome should be up. What else do we have? Anything which is... You know what? Magic Absorb isn't exactly the best one to use because it locks the sprite out for a while. But the other ones are so damned expensive. But you just gotta wait for it to finish swirling. And when the mana amount pops up. Yes, so ice thugs are those little fish that throw tridents. I think they're called bandits in this remake, or ice bandits in this case. I'm not 100% sure. We did fight a few of them last episode. It's been a while between episodes, so we need to kill them until they drop a ring or a bracelet type item, which may be called a dragon ring, may be called something else, who knows. Then there are eggplant men, which, if memory serves me correctly, are the floating men in the cauldrons. They also drop a bracelet item, or an armor called, in the original, the Watcher Ring. And then there are ghosts, which also drop an arm item. In the original it was called the Imp's Ring. So, just gotta keep an eye out for those. Those are the only three things we really 100% need from the Pure Lands in terms of armor. The other thing we have to do is kill literally everything that we see. Because if I'm right... Okay, we've missed a few enemies here, but I'm pretty sure... Okay, it wasn't spider legs. We'll be able to find those again later on. But the ones in the Pure Lands, which is, yeah... Okay, so... There's the Eggplant Man. Okay, yeah, they are called Ice Bandits in this one. They must have changed it to Thug for the, for the obvious reasons of character limits. Oops, come on. Yeah, so there's more stuff in here. This is where the bosses start, so... I've almost encountered all the enemies. But yeah, that one there. And one there. Yep, okay, cool. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't think there was an 8th one. Okay, well, that's concerning.
Time to get going.
Doesn't matter too much though. Not at the moment. Now, after we get out of the Pure Land, we will be going to the Mana Fortress. Don't get me wrong there, that's definitely a thing that we're going to be doing. And there we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different items to obtain. I forget, did the compendium have items in it? No, it didn't. It had characters. Have we run into everyone? We have encountered everybody. Cool. And of those 9 items, obviously 3 of them are the sort of end-game equipment. Now we've already gotten the Griffin Helm, which is the boys' end-game helm, like the ultimate helm. But then we need... let's see. I think the power suit is for the boy. That drops off something called a Weeper. Good. And then there's 2 fairy cloaks are needed for the magic users.
Time to get going.
Then we need to get the magic user helms. They come from a thing called a Terminator, which is a variant of these knights, if I remember.
Luna, your turn.
And then we need fairy rings, which come off wolf lords, which are werewolves. We need 3 of those because they're for everybody. They are only slight upgrades over what we have, but the rings in particular, they give a lot of status immunities, which would be really nice to have, you know?
Time to get going.
Now, in addition to that,
Absorb.
there are not enough bosses left to upgrade all the weapons. See here, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more things, and I'm not even sure if this one drops its 8th level thing. So 9 more bosses, 8 or 9 more bosses. We don't have that. Not from memory. Not unless they made a change, because we did find a fair number of orbs just sort of sitting around.
Magic absorb.
But you can miss things. Basically, some enemies in the Mana Fortress will drop orbs. It's a very rare drop, but they will do it. And I've got a list down of which ones do it. And interestingly enough, the one that we have to grind for the fairy rings, the wolf lords, they also drop glove orbs. In fact, yeah, Terminators drop whip orbs, but we don't need any whip orbs because we've got... That's already at max.
Luna, your turn.
Let's see. Fiend heads drop axes, tsunamis drop spears, metal crabs drop bows, master ninjas, which we need to kill for the caster body armor.
Luna, your turn.
They drop boomerang orbs,
Magic absorb.
and whimpers drop javelins. But I feel like did we have the javelin at max? No, one more for the javelin. But we'll see what it's like when we get out of the Pure Lands, because the Pure Lands, or the Pure Land, is a boss rush. I don't remember quite how many enemies there are in there, how many bosses,
Luna, your turn.
but it's at least 6, I want to say.
Time to get going.
I also don't remember what the deal is with bosses, apart from there are at least 2 bosses in the Mana Fortress, but I don't remember if there are more. I just remember the 2 main ones.
Magic absorb.
I feel like it's only the 2.
Time to get going. Magic absorb.
See what I mean with the animation time, making this a fairly long process?
Luna, your turn.
It was really fast with Gnome.
Magic absorb.
Like, we were at this point of Gnome very quickly. This is just, you know, a little bit longer.
Time to get going. Magic absorb.
Also, it's when she stops flashing, when they stop flashing, sorry.
Magic absorb.
Okay, that's level 4, so that's not too bad so far.
Time to get going. Magic absorb.
I don't know if I feel like leveling Luna all the way up. I think level 4 should be fine. Yeah. Let's stop casting Sleep Flower.
Sleep flower. Dryad, come on. Sleep flower. Dryad, come on.
Now this one's important to get up,
Sleep flower. Dryad, come
but I've mentioned that almost every time that I've mentioned Dryad, I've mentioned how important it is that they get a decent amount of leveling.
Sleep flower.
Because odds are,
Dryad, come on.
if you were just playing this game,
Sleep
not even
flower.
casually, but like, you know, your first
Dryad,
first go at it, yeah, you get Dryad, particularly in the original, because in the original you're like, it's only got 2 spells. It didn't tell you what the 3rd spell was on the magic screen, because it just didn't. Odds are you wouldn't have leveled Dryad. You'd have just stuck with the actual attack spells. Like, Burst is good, don't get me wrong. But you're like, oh, it costs 4 and I have to level it up. Why don't I just not do that and just use the other spells? And that would be a problem. Now we're going to cast MP Absorb on this one, just in case he had a few left in the bag. He did not. Alright. So, the sprite's completely out of magic. Alright. So let's just do what we can here. Unfortunately with Wall.
Let's go, Dryad! Wall! Let's go, Dryad!
Which is annoying because it's going to reflect it onto them and all that sort of thing.
Let's go, Dryad!
But, yeah,
Wall!
it's still important.
Let's go, Dryad!
Particularly, I think,
Wall!
I'm not sure exactly how Wall works, whether it's on a duration or if it's on a number of casts.
Let's go, Dryad!
Because I know the physical version of it, Lucid Barrier is a set number. It says it, but Wall doesn't, so
Let's go, Dryad!
who knows?
Wall! Let's go, Dryad!
So either upgrading Dryad will upgrade the duration of Wall, or upgrade the number of hits
Let's go, Dryad!
that it takes for Wall to expire.
Wall!
So we're out of enough magic for that. Let's just...
Help
Sure.
us, Luna! Wall!
Now, normally... Where's my money? There it is, 369,000. Nice. Normally, we'd fly back to Pandora and sleep there, but money is literally not an obstacle. So we're just going to go to the inn here and pay the 100 gold. Is it
One
100?
night is
120, sure, whatever. Yeah, so it does that for Wall, but it also dramatically assists Revivifier. Last time we used Revivifier, it was at level 0, and it restored us to life with like 30 HP, which is fucking awful. Because you just get hit and you die again. So upgrading Dryad upgrades the amount of, like, increases the amount of HP that you get out of that. However, I don't think it ever gets better than Cup of Wishes, because I'm pretty sure Cup of Wishes restores you at full. Yeah, can't be certain, but I'm pretty sure it does. Alright, so, where were we? Sleep Flower.
Sleep Flower! Dryad, come on! Sleep Flower! Dryad, come on! Sleep Flower! Dryad, come on!
Yeah, we'll just do this until they get a bit low, and then we'll top up their magic with
Dryad,
MP Absorb.
Sleep Flower!
Really does make the process a bit easier. Because you don't want to have to be going back to
Sleep Flower!
the inn constantly.
Dryad,
I mean, we do, but you know,
Sleep Flower! Dryad, come on!
the longer between inn stops, the better.
Sleep Flower! Dryad, come on! Sleep Flower!
And I'm not really concerning myself with weapon levels too much, apart from one thing that I did want to just do. I'm going to equip myself with the Gigas Sword. One, because it
Sleep
looks
Flower!
fucking incredible, like look at that.
Dryad, come on!
And also because I really want the boy
Sleep Flower!
to have the highest level possible in the sword.
Dryad, come on!
because it's the mana sword, you know?
Flake flower. Try it. Come on. Flake flower.
Now, one key to using MP absorb
Try it. Come on.
is you don't want to. One thing you'd like not to do is use it and have it restore more than you can take in terms of MP, because that's inefficient, you know? Which is why we'll go down all the way down to 1 MP, because that's all it takes before we cast it.
Flake flower. Try it. Come on. Flake flower. Try it. Come on. Flake flower.
And I mean, we could indefinitely do this without going back to the
Flake flower.
inn in terms of the sprites magic, because we just leave them with 1 MP, walk off the screen, walk back on.
Try it. Come on.
Simple.
Flake flower. Try it. Come on.
But we also want to upgrade the girl's magic
Flake
too.
flower. Try it. Come on. Flake flower.
Okay, I think we're in a pretty safe position to use it.
Time to get going. Magic absorb. Woohoo!
That wasn't bad. So now we just be a little bit... You know what? We'll just use it on the other guy while we're here.
Luna, your turn. Magic absorb. Woohoo!
Okay, I don't think we got all that we could have out of him, so let's just
Flake flower.
keep casting.
Flake flower.
And don't rely on it always leaving you with 1 MP, because you've got to make sure that you're...
Flake flower.
Like currently we have an odd number of MP on the sprite, so no matter how many 2 MP spells that we cast, we'll always have 1 left at the end. But
Flake flower.
if it's an even number, then you've got to be a little bit just more conscientious of how much MP you've got.
Flower. Try it. Come on. Flake flower. Try it. Come on.
So let's see, what else has been going on apart from the whole, you know, having to stay indoors thing.
Flake flower.
I mean, I've been playing a bit of Crusader Kings 3, one of my good friends, shout out to Nandez, actually gifted it to me from the American side of things.
Try it.
Very nice of him, and I need to repay him a favour at some point.
Flake flower.
I did the same thing in it that I did in the first play of Europa Universalis 4 that I ever did. And it was a mistake. But, you know, you gotta make mistakes. Because I didn't want to start in one of the, you know, oh, here's one of the positions that you should start in. So instead, I went back as early as I could and hit random a few times.
Flake flower.
And it was like, oh, why don't you be this, excuse me. Why don't you be this East African chief? And I'm like, hey, that sounds fun. I mean, that area has been dramatically expanded in CK3.
Flake flower.
So, why the fuck not? And things are going alright, but I get this nagging sort of idea that playing as an East African tribal leader is going to end up exactly as what happened in EU4 when my very first game I played as the Congo.
Flake flower.
With a little bit of a difference. So let me tell you the tale of the EU4's Congo game.
Flake flower.
Okay, let's just get an MP absorb on the guy on the right.
Time to get going.
I picked Congo because I was like, they're nice and isolated and I just want to get used to the game mechanics. Yeah, okay, that's done, so let's get this one going.
Let's go, Triad. Whoa.
Yeah, I just want to get used to the game mechanics, just let me do it and, you know, we'll see how we go.
Let's
And
go,
things are going fine. I was like, you know, saving up GP, moving on fast because that game is slow when you're playing as a non-European
Whoa.
and non-Asian, I think.
Let's go, Triad.
And yeah, it was
Whoa.
coming along.
Let's go, Triad. Whoa.
I'd like got a nice amount of stuff going, and you know, buildings were getting built up, and I had like a tiny little army and all this sort of thing. And I was expanding into the colonization tree because I needed it to colonize the empty provinces next to me and all this sort of thing. Then the Portuguese showed up.
Help us, Luna!
And just fucking wrecked me. Didn't even like make me a vassal or anything, just game over. Almost instantaneously, just game over. I was just like,
100.
alright, that was cool. I tend to make this mistake when playing Paradox games for the first time, because I don't want to jump into like a powerful, like I don't want to be King of France at the start of the game, because one, like I know it's got its own challenges, but like I just want to be someone small and work my way up. And it's a matter of scale. It's easier to sort of work the game out if you're playing as somebody low level, like a count, or a count level thing, than if you start as a king. Like, you probably don't want to start as the Holy Roman Emperor. Like, just saying. We're actually making really good progress on the sprite's magic here, because Dryad's at level 6 now, so we should be level 7 within this play, or this screen. But yeah, I did that in Europa Universalis. I don't think I actually did that in CK2. I think my very first play of it was, I mean, I might have been a count or something, but it was a count in a like reasonable place, like somewhere in the Balkans. Yeah, I think that was it. I mean, I still got my ass kicked by the Byzantine Empire, but you know, what are you going to do? And when I played Hearts of Iron 4, the first time, I played as Brazil. That didn't work out very well because the entirety of South America in Hearts of Iron 4 is prevented from really doing anything in South America because of the US. Which sucked. I just tried to have a nice little friendly war with one of my neighbors, and the US declared war on me for it. In the middle of World War II. Like, don't you have better things to be doing, buddy? Which is why I had Brazil join the fascists, and you know, just so that I might get an ally out of it. And then that resulted in the entire world declaring war on me, because they beat Germany and Italy pretty quickly, and Japan, and then I was left to hold off the entire world, and I managed it for a little bit, and I'm glad I did it because it was the experience. But jeez. The other Hearts of Iron game that I played was as Australia, because I was like, you know what, represent, and that was actually pretty good. I mean, I don't feel like I did much, because all I really did was put armies in Papua New Guinea and hold it, but it was interesting, and I think I got a much better grasp on how to use armies by doing that, because armies in Hearts of Iron 4 are very different than the armies in Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis. Particularly CK2, because I'm not quite across armies in CK3 yet. I may play that on the channel. I think I've mentioned it before, but I'm kind of a little bit wary of doing that because everybody in Med Dog has a CK3 video, or several CK3 videos out. And I don't feel confident that I'm across all of the mechanics just yet. And while I will absolutely make a video in the future where I am playing a game that I am not 100% across, it's called Gary Grigsby's War in Europe, or War in the West, or whichever version of it I actually have, because nobody can ever be across all the mechanics in that game. I don't want to do that with a Paradox game. Because one thing I've learned from watching people play Paradox games is that there is nothing more infuriating to me than watching somebody play. Okay, that's level 7 there. Watching somebody play a game, a Paradox game, and not know what the fuck they're doing. Alright, so Salamander, Sylphid, and Undyne, because I don't really care too much about Luna. Salamander are all damage spells, Undyne are all damage spells, Sylphid has a confusion. Good. Should be using the left D-pad, not the right D-pad. Good. Yeah, it's just not to call anybody out or anything like that, because I mean, seriously, me calling someone out? Come on. I'm not about that. But, like, when people are like, oh, I'm great at this game because I've figured out this one little thing, and it's like, yeah, but you've missed all... Have I talked about this before? I feel like I've talked about this before. Probably during the last grind episode. But yeah, you're like, oh, I'm amazing at this game because I did this thing, and it's like, yeah, but that was either completely expected of you, or there are repercussions for it that you're just not noticing. And because your video is only 10 or 20 minutes long, or even just a single 40-minute one, the consequences will never become apparent to you. I mean, they might if you continue to play, but they won't be apparent in the video. Pretty sure we already used Water Absorb, so let's just tap out the sprite. Oops. Gotta wait for her to say it. Okay, she's out of mana.
Let's go, Triad!
Kill these things.
Wall! Let's go, Triad! Wall! Let's go, Triad! Wall! Let's go, Triad! Wall! Let's go, Triad!
It's a little bit weird because you've got to wait.
Wall!
Like, the effect seems to happen... Yeah, the effect seems to happen before she actually says the word.
Let's go,
But that doesn't matter.
Wall!
If there was a bit of lagging there.
Wall!
Okay, it happens almost instantly, but...
Let's go,
Whoops.
Triad!
Didn't mean to cast on everybody.
Let's go, Triad! Wall! Help us, Luna! Lunar boost!
Alright. You want to attack him? Oh no. That's fine. Let's get back and give it a rest. How are we doing anyway? Okay. And... I mean... The girl's Dryad magic is always slow to advance just because it costs so damn much mana.
One night is 100.
Yeah, let's just kill that one. It just gets in the way otherwise. Don't kill that, please. Yeah, so we're not getting any sort of mad experience out of this because we're not really killing anything. Leveling up Salamando and Undyne are going to be a little bit annoying because we will be killing things. But not much we can do about that, right? I don't know if that's coming through, but I'm a bit of a yawny boy today. Must be just the fact it's nice and warm and, you know, sun's coming in. And, you know, I'm just relaxing and playing video games. Yeah, just thinking, if an enemy does cast wall on itself, a boss enemy, there are a couple of ways to deal with that. The first thing you've got to do is cast Dispel Magic on it. However, most of the time that just results in them recasting wall, because they'll have a, okay good, that leveled up, so now it's just Undyne and Salamando. Alright, fuck it. That's probably going to kill it too. Yeah, I didn't actually want to kill him.
Time to get going. Magic absorb.
Alright, now you can kill it.
Come on, Undine. Let's go, Triad. Freeze.
Oh, that's interesting. So normally, or in the original, you couldn't have them both use magic at the same time.
Wall. Let's go, Triad.
Just because it limited the, it was a way for it to limit the amount of entities on screen. Because again, Super Nintendo, it's very limited in terms of hardware compared to stuff from today. But it appears that that particular limitation has been lifted, which is nice.
Let's go, Triad. Wall. Let's go, Triad. Wall.
Okay, then free MP on something, so might as well just be a boost.
Lunar boost.
Alright. Now, we're not going to go rest just yet, because the sprite still has plenty of magic. And, in effect, we'll have unlimited magic
Time to get going.
during this grind.
Magic absorb.
That also does mean that
Watch out.
the girl won't be getting any more progress for a little bit. But that's fine, because we do have a better grind area for them.
Watch out.
Just we can't grind the sprite's magic up at the same time. Well, whoops. Kind of wish that wasn't a critical. Yeah, so what we do here is run on and off screen and just keep on. Whenever we get slightly low in terms of sprite magic, we just MP absorb,
Come on, Undine.
because they kill everything in one hit with freeze. One, because these are lower level enemies, Venners. Now, anyway. Just gotta wait for it to pop, yep. And two, because they give us more mana than it takes to kill them. And again, you might be wondering why we only go to level 7 instead of to level 8, despite the fact that we technically have 8 mana seeds, and that's because they're not sealed properly. whole reason why we're going to the Pure Land is to see if we can do something about that. Because the Mana Sword isn't properly powered up yet, and we can't stop the Mana Fortress. Like, we can't stop the Mana Fortress until that happens. The Mana Beast can stop the Mana Fortress, but it's a mutually assured destruction. And I mean that the world dies. I think a part of it is, like, the Mana Beast is a natural reaction to mana getting used up, which is what the Mana Fortress does, but it uses it up so fast that the Mana Beast is made too quickly, and is therefore too powerful and not in enough control.
Time to get going.
And so it just
Magic absorb.
goes batshit.
Come on, Undine.
So we need to destroy the Mana Fortress before that happens.
Watch him out.
Like, before the Mana Beast is made.
Freeze. Watch him out. Freeze.
Okay, that's level 6 freeze, or level 6 Undyne, which is good. Get that to 7, and then we can get Salamander to 7.
Watch him out.
Trying to keep a bit of an eye on my phone over here because, well, I've been looking for work, as you do when you just finish university.
Freeze.
And, you know, just got to see how that goes.
Watch him out. Freeze.
Hopefully well, I mean, I know, but when I was younger, I made the big mistake of you apply for one job and then wait for it, and you wait for it, you wait for it, and like, nothing happens because they never get back to you. Which sucks, but that's just what you got to deal with.
Freeze.
And because of that, when I was younger, what I would do is limit
Watch him out.
my job searches very, very heavily. Like, I'd get a list of like 20 job applications, and then I'd pare it down with like, oh, I don't really think I could do this one, and that sort of stuff.
Magic absorb.
And like, that's just not how to do things. Because if that's how you do things, you'll be waiting forever. So every day I send off a few more job applications. I seriously think I talked about this I can't remember what I talked about last episode because that was like 4 or 5 days ago for me.
Come on, Undine.
But that's how things are in this bitch of a world, huh?
Come on, Undine. Freeze. Watch him out.
I wonder how much
Freeze.
percentage we get per cast. That must be a decent amount if we're at 27% already. But we are approaching that hour mark. Because it's a grind episode,
Come on, Undine.
we might go over the hour.
Come on, Undine.
Yeah, probably.
Freeze. Come on,
However, we are almost done with grinding the sprite, and once we're done with that, grinding the girls' magic is way quicker, because one will be standing next to Grandpa Sprite, and two, we're only grinding Dryad, because we don't need any of this other stuff. Even Analyze, we just don't need it. We might actually grind, you know what? We might grind Lumina. But again, that'll be really quick.
Come on, Undine. Freeze.
Whoops, cast on the wrong one.
Freeze! Watch your mouth! Freeze! Watch your mouth! Freeze!
So let's see, we're at 27%. And now what are we at? 45, okay. That's not bad. It's a good like 18% or something like that. Yeah, 18%.
Come on, Undine! Freeze! Come on, Undine!
Whoops,
Freeze!
casted on the wrong one again. We are getting a little bit of,
Magic absorb!
you know, lunar experience for the sprite this way. Which I guess is nice.
Freeze! Come on, Undine! Freeze!
Not much because it's one cast every now and again, but, you know, every little bit.
Watch your mouth! Freeze!
I guess his attack hitbox was active.
Freeze! Watch your mouth! Freeze! Come on, Undine!
I like to think that the Imperial soldiers, like, around the place do recognize us, but they're just like, you know what? I don't think we want to start shit.
Freeze! Luna, your turn! Magic absorb! Woohoo! Watch your mouth! Freeze!
Yeah, so the big actual grind, while we are doing a bit here, just pre-Pure Lands, big actual grind happens post-Pure Lands. Because at that point, I mean, it's not going to be a spoiler, at that point we can train to level 8 magic, but in addition to level 8 magic, we need to get into like the Overcast territory, which I know I've explained before, but it's where you actually get additional percentage after level 8. You can never hit level 9 magic, that's not a thing, but there's, like, it introduces a critical chance, basically, which is based on the percentage over level 8 that you are. So, I mean, I guess in this one it'd be level 8 and 99%, but in the original it was 8.99, because it worked in decimal. And, yeah, it was basically a 99% chance that you'd do what's called a supercast. Which is really obvious when it happened, by the way. And I hope that they maintained that. I don't quite remember if they did. So we'll just have to wait and see. Good. But yeah, I'd like to get to that point for, at the very least, the main spells that we're using. So, Dryad, Undyne, both Undynes, and both Dryads. And probably Shade and Lumina as well, just to make sure.
Time to get going. Magic absorb.
I think Lumina is actually kind of important in one of the boss fights that comes up. Which again is a trap for people who don't quite know what they're doing, because Lumina's attack spell costs so much. Like, I think it's 8 magic to cast from the girl, and so you probably haven't even considered leveling it up since you've got it. Because the other spells in it, they're just like, yeah, you've got a okay, that's good. Like, yeah, you've got a saber, a saber buff, which is nice, because I think it's a health absorbing one. But, I mean, it's also not that important, like not that useful. Good. Oh, excuse me. And of course, Lucid Barrier, which in the original it was really easy not to get hit. Hell, in this one it's really easy not to get hit. You've just got to manage where you are. Particularly seeing as Lucid Barrier does nothing against magic, and magic is the only thing that really auto hits you. And of course, I feel like some stuff can get through Lucid Barrier, like certain boss grab attacks and things like that, which is usually the reason why you'd want to be immune to magical or to normal weapons. Forgot fire, like Salamander was only at level 4. This could be a little bit longer than I thought. Sort of thought it was at level 6. Well, now it's at level 5, so you know. Good times. So, I have to admit, this isn't my favorite offensive magic leveling zone. That would actually be Gaia's Navel. But at least this way we're getting like a touch of experience. But with Gaia's Navel, you just sort of run around it and nuke everything that you can see. Ah, we just leveled. And you know what that means? That means more walls can be cast. Now, when doing buff magic, you definitely want to have your thumb or finger over the right D-pad, because if you go left, it will select all first. So, for example, that's the right one. This is the left one. And you don't want to cast it on the girl herself, because that will block her out from casting anything until the effect ends. Looks like we're casting wall on that treasure chest up there. Alright, costs 6, so we're going to get a couple of boosts out instead. Good. Oh, turns out we didn't actually need that magic absorb because the level was incoming. Just have a quick inspection. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. And that's also not, like, it's not bad. Could be better. And the thing is that by grinding intermittently throughout the game, like we've been doing, just, you know, a couple of hours here and there, you're actually preventing yourself from having to do a huge grind at the end. Because I'm not gonna pull any punches. Like, you need, at the very least, you need your cure water to be at maximum, and you really should have at least a couple of offensive magics at maximum by the time you get to the Pure Lands. And it would help if you can absorb magic from things reliably when you're in the Pure Lands, because it's a boss rush. And when you defeat a boss, yeah, your HP gets topped up, but your MP stays flatlined. Which is why I'm really hoping that the Lumina-involved fight that I'm remembering is on the Mana Fortress and not in the Pure Land. We do still have Fairy Walnuts as a backup, and you can leave the Pure Land at any time using Flammy. But when you reappear in a Pure Land, you will reappear at the start. Now, any bosses that you've defeated will still be defeated, but you still need to get there. And the Pure Land is one area that I do not recommend trying to run through without getting hit. Because I tried to do that when I was younger, and shit just does not work. Did we actually get that cast off? Yep, wonderful. Even with barrels, it just didn't work. I did get pretty far in because you can use the barrels until you get to like the first boss. Like, the boss can't hit you through barrels, I don't think. But you've got to take them off to do anything. You can't attack with a barrel on, you can't cast magic with a barrel on. So you have to take it off to do something. And at that point, the first boss might just wreck you. But then after that, well, you can only carry 4 barrels at one time. So either you barreled everybody and made it through there nice and slow, and then had 1 barrel left, or you barreled the 2 spellcasters and tried to get through without getting hit yourself, which wasn't always happening. Now, if you tried to get through yourself and you had 2 barrels, then you could use 2 barrels again for the next, like, between bosses section, but then you were out of barrels. What are you going to do? The other thing you can do is just let them die and use cups of wishes to bring them back. Not a recommended strategy, because then you don't have any cups or wishes and you're reviving in a boss room. And that's dangerous. Like, really dangerous. So it's best just to be properly, be properly leveled when you go to the Pure Land. Okay, that's level 6 Salamander, that's pretty nice. Just a little bit longer. So you'll notice here, we can actually get a cast off before the effect ends. That's because currently the effect is on an enemy and not on the sprite. However, now it's on the sprite, so it sort of delays the cast. But it still goes off because we managed to actually cast it. I don't know if you could stack mana absorbs like that, but I don't think it matters too much. Just gotta keep at it, guys. We're almost there. For the sprite. I want another MP absorb. Interestingly enough, with that particular combination of casting Magic Absorb and then getting Fireball out, it appears that it deducted the cost of Fireball after the Magic Absorb arrived. And I mean, that'll be to do with how the magic now only deducts itself once it's actually gone off.
Get him, Salamando! Fireball!
See, it only starts the moment that fireballs actually emerge is when we lose the, when we pay the cost. Whereas previously, in the original, I believe it just immediately deducted it. But you knew it would definitely go off. And of course, we can cast Fireball while the fireballs are on screen. Not too sure if you could do that in the original because entity limits. I feel like you could only, despite the fact that you could target it at everything and it'd be a ton of entities on stage. Yeah, I think you had to wait for the entire effect to end, or at least for all of the fireballs to connect. That being said, that still gave you plenty of time to chain magic. Which, as I mentioned before, you can't chain magic anymore. Because, let's be fair, it was a bit of an, like, not exploit, but it was an abuse of the system. And honestly, it prevented people from leveling up their magic properly. Because what you'd do is you would rely on brute forcing your way through bosses. I know that's what I did. Instead of actually having magic that does, you know, a decent amount of damage, you just have magic that did shit all, but you'd cast it 1,000 times. Wow, 1,000, that's not a way to say anything. Not on screen, okay. Now you're on screen.
Time to get going. Magic absorb.
Now you can multi-target magic absorb, but again it weakens, like all multitask things, it weakens the effect across the number of enemies. I think if you upgrade magic absorb to a decent level, that won't matter. But you know, not only is it ridiculously cheap because it's 1 MP, but generally in a situation where you really need mana fast, it's called a boss battle, and there's usually only one target. Usually. There are boss battles with more than one target. Yeah, wall enemies do that. But I'm not too sure if these side eyes actually had magic, or if it was just the central eye that had magic in that case. Getting there. One more run should do, I think. Then we'll go do the actual most boring part of this grind, which is sitting by Grandpa and spamming girl magic. Oh hey, we actually managed to level up Luna in the meantime. Well, that's good. Come on. Okay, we must be at like 99%. 90, okay. Well, maybe it'll take us a couple more runs. That's right, because there's only 3 casts essentially. So it's nowhere near as good as the other magic in terms of training. Okay, one more. There we go. So I think that's all of the sprite stuff to 7 except for Luna. which is 100% fine. I mean, look, when you think about it, Luna's magic, the only one it really matters is magic absorb, and we've got to a point where it's doing pretty well. Alright, let's get out of here.
There!
We need to go to the Wind Palace, where we will stand by Grandpa for a while. What the remake music is for this area. I'm just going to turn it up a little bit. Okay, apparently I have to use this. Ooh, I like that. I mean, I'm not going to keep it on remake. But yeah, I don't actually mind that particular version.
Get you, Pat. Shall I save the game?
Yeah, Gramps, thank you.
Take care.
Sure. What were we leveling? Dryad.
Let's go, Dryad! Wall! Let's go, Dryad! Wall! Let's go, Dryad!
Yeah, the other reason why you're probably not going to level up the girls' Dryad magic, apart from the whole massively expensive costs, like 10 and 6 mana, come on, is that they're highly specific. Someone either has to be dead, or you generally have something trying to cast magic at you to worry about it. Which is like, that doesn't usually happen in regular play. Like, sure, there are some things that cast magic at you, but usually you just tank it. Also, because, remember, it reflects friendly magic, so it's like, cool.
Help us, Luna! Lunar boost!
Yeah, I think that leveled up Luna.
Power of the moon! Lunar boost!
Here, let's get you. Shall I save the game?
No,
Take
you're good.
care.
Let's go, Dryad!
Like, it even reflects itself.
Let's go,
Whoops.
Dryad!
Hit the left button instead of a right button.
Let's go, Dryad!
There is another place that I'd like to see what the remake music's like, so you know what, we'll probably handle that once we're done here. And that's the Ruins, where they have that sort of discordant bell music. Because as I've mentioned, that stuff, it like chills my spine. So I want to see what the remake version did with that.
Let's go, Dryad! Wall! Let's go,
I think I checked out what the Dwarf Village was like in a different episode, and it wasn't great.
Let's go, Dryad! Wall! Power of the moon! Lunar boost!
Now, is there a reason why I'm leveling up Luna? No,
Lunar boost!
it's just because it's
Here,
something
let's
that
get you
has
patched up.
enough
Shall I
mana to
save the
cast.
game? Take care.
Though, in fairness, that's not what I wanted. I wanted that. There we go. In fairness, we could drop a Holy Saber and actually get more progress towards Lumina, so that's what we'll do from now.
Let's go, Dryad! Wall! Let's go, Dryad! Wall! Let's go, Dryad! Wall! Let's go, Dryad! Wall!
I think we just hit level
Let's
5.
go, Dryad!
Yep, good.
Wall! Let's go, Dryad! Wall!
One more wall,
Triad. Wall.
and then something from Lumina. Sure.
Saber.
Here, let's get you, Pat. Shall I save the game? Take care.
And I mean, the other thing is that you want to get your guys decently leveled up so that they have enough magic. Like, we've got a decent amount of magic right now.
Let's go,
Like,
Triad.
59 points each. So that's pretty good.
Wall.
But
Let's
if
go,
you hadn't really been leveling because you've been running past stuff and,
Wall.
you know, that sort of deal,
Let's go, Triad.
you might only have 30.
Wall.
Which if you're looking to cast
Let's go,
a
Triad.
lot of stuff, particularly Lumina's magic, I mean,
Let's go, Triad.
there you are casting some, like an attack spell which costs 8 MP. You're going to get, what,
Let's go,
3
Triad.
casts of it before you need to Fairy Walnut.
Wall.
That's not good
Let's
enough.
go, Triad. Wall.
And you definitely won't be able to get out any other buff spells or anything like that.
Wall.
How much is Lucent Beam anyway? Yeah, 8 MP. Like, come on.
Saber.
Here, let's get you patched up. Shall I save? Take care.
Let's go, Triad.
And of course, remember that we do this here, not only because Gramps is right there, but because our weapons are out.
Wall.
And weapons out means that we get our full rate of progression on magic.
Wall. Let's go, Triad. Wall.
I'm hoping if this doesn't take too much longer, just because,
Wall.
to be honest, the video files for the Secret of Mana episodes have been a lot bigger than the Mechanicus files were. Not even in terms of like duration, but in terms of data.
Wall.
I don't know exactly why. I think it's something to do with more changes and stuff like that in the compression. I didn't change any
Let's go,
settings,
Triad.
so... Whoops.
Wall.
Right.
Light. Saber.
And let me just check this. Okay, good progress. Good progress.
Here, let's get you, Pat. Shall I save the game?
We're not going to worry too much about Lumina.
Let's go,
Dryad's the important one. And
Wall.
in the progress of this, we'll probably get Lumina to level 6.
Go, Triad. Wall.
That's Dryad to level 6 too. Or was Lumina already level 6? I feel like it was.
Let's go, Triad.
Well, we'll get it progressing towards level 7 then.
Let's go, Triad.
And we can kind of make a value judgment over whether we need to do that or not.
Let's go, Triad. Wall. Let's go, Triad.
We will finish this episode in Pandora because that's where we started it, and
Let's go, Triad.
as a sort of grind episode, that's how things go.
Wall. Let's go, Triad.
Let's just keep on moving through here. Yeah, what level were you?
Light the way.
Level 6 already. Okay, good.
Saber.
Here, let's get you, Pat. Shall I save the game? Take care.
Let's go, Triad. Wall. Let's go, Triad. Wall.
And obviously, the higher level you are with the more MP, the easier it is to
Wall.
do this sort of grind because you don't have to go back and restore your MP as often.
Wall. Let's go, Triad. Wall.
Which is
Let's go,
handy.
Triad. Wall. Let's go, Triad. Wall. Let's go, Triad. Wall. Let's go, Triad. Wall. Light.
Might as well cast on herself, that'll actually help out.
Saber.
Good.
Here, let's get you, Pat. Shall I save the game?
No, we're
Take
good.
care.
Just let me have a quick look at how everybody is. 48. Okay.
Let's go, Triad! Wall! Let's go, Triad! Wall! Let's go, Triad! Wall! Let's go, Triad!
So the only issue with grinding magic like this is you don't get proper XP. Like leveling XP. Which is fine. I think we're actually in a pretty good position for levels. And if we're not, going through the Pure Lands will do a pretty good job for us.
Let's go, Triad! Wall! Let's go, Triad!
Because we weren't doing that badly in the Pure Lands when we were there last episode.
Let's go,
To grind out that Griffin Helm. So
Wall!
I'm pretty confident that we can handle the Pure Lands.
Light! Saber!
Here, let's get you back. Shall I save the game? Take care.
Okay, now let's check again. 75. Okay. This might be it.
Let's go, Triad!
I hope so. So we're approaching 1.5 hours and,
Wall!
well,
Let's go, Triad!
I will be surprised if any of you have actually stuck around this long. If you have, let me know. I'm not trying to like call to action here or anything, but like genuinely interested to see how you guys are enjoying these grind episodes, because when we eventually get to FF10, to playing FF10,
Let's go, Triad!
I'm gonna want to know if you guys are interested in grind episodes.
Let's go, Triad!
I mean, I still think I'll do them, but like,
Let's go, Triad!
it lets me know how much consideration I should give to them
Let's go, Triad!
in terms of my structuring of things.
Wall!
Wow, I'm almost sounding professional about this.
Wall!
There we go. On the last cast too. Very nice.
Light the way, Lumina! Saber!
Here,
Alright,
let's get you back.
thank
Shall I
you.
save-
Yes, please. Save the game just in
Take
case.
care.
Let's go to the southern... Well, let's go to some ruins so that we can see what it sounds like. Then we'll go back to Pandora and finish this episode up. My mouse pointer's been on the screen, apparently. I wonder if the Pandora ruins still have the music. Okay. Not outside, at least. No, it's Triumph. Okay,
There!
the Empire ruins in Northtown? Those are the only ones I can really think of. Man, that Thanatos guy really liked hanging out in ruins. Is this them? Yep, Northtown ruins. There we go. So this is the original music. This gives me chills. Like, I'm not even gonna try denying it. But yeah, that just gives me chills. Like, let's see what the remake is. Interesting. Just going back to the original. No, see, with the remake, with the original, I feel like the bells are much more sort of discordant and arrhythmic. I know that there is a like actual rhythm to them, but it's harder for me to perceive that due to the pitch. Whereas with the remake, I can actually hear the rhythm, and so it still sounds a bit creepy to me, and I still get a bit of chills. But whether that's through association or through the actual sound, not quite sure. But yeah, I think we went over ruins by accident. That's alright. But yeah, the original definitely gets me way more than the remake does. Alright, let's go to the inn, have a rest. I don't think we're going to get an event. Yep, there we go. And after we save it, we will call the episode. Oh, it's been a long one, but, well, that's how grinds go, huh? Get up, lads. And ladettes. And Sprite. Yep, good. Okay, so let's call it there. And in the meantime, I've been Sub, you've been yourselves. Later.